Multi-level queue scheduling. In multi-level queue scheduling, algorithm partitions the ready queue into several separate queues. As you know, ready queue is a queue that contains all those processes which are in the memory, and these processes are waiting for CPU allocation. So this algorithm will partition the ready queue into several separate queues. In this algorithm, processes are put into different groups, generally based on some property of the process, such as process type, process priority, and memory size. This means processes can be classified into separate groups, and these groups are made based on some property of the process. For example, process type may serve as a property based on which we can classify the processes. Similarly, low priority processes and high priority processes can also be put into different groups. And likewise, based on memory requirements, processes can be classified into different groups. The processes which need more memory, they can be put into a different group, and the processes which need less memory, they can be put into another group. Each group of processes is permanently assigned to a specific queue. As we have divided ready queue into several separate queues, so each group of processes is permanently assigned to a specific queue. Each queue has its own scheduling policy. This means scheduling policy can vary from one queue to another queue, and based upon the response time requirements. For example, we can use different scheduling policy for each queue. One common classification is to divide the processes into foreground processes and background processes. Foreground processes, also known as interactive processes, are those processes which require user interaction. Whereas background processes, also known as batch processes, are those processes which don't require user interaction while they are in execution phase. Because these processes have different response time requirements, so they can be scheduled using different policies. Foreground processes will be assigned to one queue, whereas background processes will be assigned to another ready queue. And each queue will have its own scheduling policy. We can use round-robin scheduling policy to execute foreground processes, whereas first come, first served scheduling policy can be used for the background processes. What would happen if all the queues have some processes? Which process will be allocated CPU? In other words, how we can schedule among different queues? As we have just discussed that there are two queues in a system, the foreground queue and the background queue. So if both of these queues are full of processes, then in which order the processes will be allocated CPU? Either the processes from the foreground queue will execute first, or the processes from the other queue will execute first. There are two approaches to deal this situation. The first approach is fixed priority with preemptive scheduling. And the second approach is time slicing. In fixed priority with preemptive scheduling, each queue has absolute priority over lower priority queues. For example, having this case, we have two queues, the queue which contain foreground processes and the queue that has background processes. So the queue which has foreground processes, this queue has fixed priority and it has highest priority as compared to the queue that contains background processes. So the processes which are in a high priority queue, they will be executed first. And preemptive scheduling means that a process in the lower priority queue will be preempted if a new process arrives in some high priority queue. This means if foreground queue is empty, then a process from the background queue will be selected for execution. And while this process is running, suppose a process arrives in the high priority queue, that is the foreground queue. So if this is the case, then the process from the background queue will be preempted because the foreground process has higher priority as compared to the background process. So the background process from the lower priority queue will be preempted and CPU will be allocated to the process that has just arrived in the foreground queue. The second scheme is time slicing. In this scheme, time slice is used among the queues. This means each queue gets a certain portion of CPU time. For example, processes in the foreground queue, they can use 80% of the CPU time, whereas processes in the background queue, they may use 20% of the CPU time. And a queue can schedule its share of CPU time among its processes. Now, having the 80% of the CPU time, foreground queue can use round-robin scheduling to schedule this 80% of CPU time among its processes. And similarly, the background queue can schedule 20% of the CPU time to schedule its own processes. Let's take an example of a system in which processes have been divided into 5 classes: system processes, interactive editing processes, batch processes, and student processes. Now, ready queue has been divided into 5 partitions, and, and each type of the process has been allocated to a specific queue. The system processes queue, this has the highest priority as compared to the interactive processes queue, whereas interactive processes queue has the fixed priority over the interactive editing processes queue. And interactive editing processes queue has absolute priority over the batch processes queue as well as student processes queue. Now, CPU will be allocated first to the processes which are in the system process queue. And this queue may use round-robin scheduling to schedule the processes. Once the system processes queue is empty and there are no more processes in this queue, then the interactive processes can be executed. Again, maybe you can use round-robin scheduling. Remember, the processes in batch process queue will be only executed once the queue above it are all empty. This means the system processes queue, interactive processes queue, and interactive editing processes queue, if all these queues are empty, then a process in the batch process queue will be executed. And this process may be executed using first come, first serve policy. However, while a process is running, a batch process is running, and an interactive process arrives in the system, then the batch process will be preempted and interactive process will be executed, the control of CPU. Let's explain this using fixed priority preemptive scheduling example. Suppose there are three processes in the system, process P1, process P2, and process P3, which has arrived at time 0 and at time 4. Process P1 is a foreground process and process P2 is a batch process, whereas process 3 is again a foreground process. Remember, foreground queue has absolute priority over the batch process queue. And processes in the foreground queue can be scheduled using round robin policy, whereas processes in the batch queue are scheduled using the first come, first serve policy. We can also suppose that the time quantum is 4 milliseconds. Here is the Gantt chart that explains the schedule of these processes on the system. At time 0, there are two processes in two different queues. Process P1 is in foreground queue and process P2 is in the batch queue. Because foreground queue has absolute priority over the batch queue, so the process from the foreground queue will be selected for the execution. Once this process has completed its execution and foreground queue becomes empty, then a process from the batch queue will be selected for the execution. So at time 2, foreground queue becomes empty. Hence, process P2 has been selected for execution. While process P2 is in execution, process P3 arrives in the system at time 4. Now, this process arrives in the foreground queue. And because foreground queue has priority over the batch queue, so batch process will be preempted. Control will be taken back from the batch process and it will be given to the process P3. So at time 4, control has been given to the process P3. Now process P3 will complete its execution and once it has completed its execution, control will be given back to the process P2, which will complete its remaining execution burst. So what are the strengths and limitations of multi-level queue scheduling? In multi-level queue scheduling, processes are permanently assigned to a specific queue. Hence, it has low scheduling overhead because processes are permanently assigned to a specific queue and during their lifespan, processes don't change the queue. So there is little scheduling overhead. As far as limitations are concerned, a process in a low priority queue may start. For example, in a system in which there is a continuous steady stream of foreground processes, in such a system, a background process may start. It will not gain the control of CPU because there is a continuous stream of foreground processes. And because foreground processes have priority over the background processes, so this background process may start. Another limitation is This algorithm is inflexible. This means because processes are permanently assigned to a specific queue and processes cannot change their priorities. They cannot change queues during their lifetime. Hence, this is inflexible approach.